Hey everyone, my name is Wedge and welcome back to our infamous Best of the Rest series, where we talk about the rest of the cards in Dominaria not spoiled individually. In this video, we're talking all things black. If you've missed previous episodes, you can check those out in the description box below, and if you enjoy this video, be sure to hit that like button, helps out a lot. Blessing of Bells Unlock is 1 black mana for an instant. Target creature gets +2/+1 until end of turn. If it's legendary, it also gains lifelink until end of turn. This is dang cheap, considering the significant power boost in lifelink if it's a legendary. I probably wouldn't prioritize this in any way, but if you find yourself with a significant number of legendary creatures, it's possible one of these might be worth inclusion. Better against red aggressive decks without lifelink. I don't know, can't praise this too much though. Dark Bargain is 4 mana for an instant. Look at the top 3 cards of your library, put 2 of them into your hand and the other into your graveyard. Dark Bargain deals 2 damage to you. Whoa, this is tickling the color pie in a big way. Talk about a powerful card filtering spell for black. First, it's instant speed. That already makes it viable right there. Instant speed. Second, you get to look 3 cards deep and you keep 2 of those, and like most black decks would want, the third goes to your graveyard, which you might just be interacting with. This card does a lot for a common, and let's be honest, that 2 life is basically meaningless. You're playing this anyway. Would love to see a card like this make waves in standard. Black, efficient, instant speed card filtering? Hot dang, where do I sign up? Death Bloom Thallid is 3 mana for a 3/2 fungus. When it dies, create a 1/1 Saproling token. Yes, all of the yes forever. And not only because I love Saprolings. Of course, I do love Saprolings more than life itself, but still, that isn't why this is good. It's good because it's 3 mana for 3 power that leaves something behind when it dies. That's continued board presence. It's more pressure. It's another creature your opponent has to deal with. Even if it's just a 1/1, that's still better than nothing. And if you're running a deck that can synergize with these Saproling tokens, even more reason to play it. Being common, that's great news. This is good in every black deck, easy pickup, easy include and limited. Demonic Vigor is 1 black mana for an enchant creature aura. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1. When enchanted creature dies, return that card to its owner's hand. This is an interesting little aura. 1 mana is obviously as cheap as you can get, and the +1/+1 buff is nice, but the recursion, that's why we're here, and honestly, I don't hate it at all. 1 mana to get one of your best creatures back, and it has a buff while it's still alive. Again, for 1 mana. You could do a lot worse with 1 mana, just saying. Demonic Vigor may not be flashy, but it gives you some cheap as heck recursion behind a tiny boost on the battlefield, something that can help you win the game. Eviscerate is 4 mana for a sorcery, destroy target creature. Well, black removal is back in a big way. It is sorcery speed and it is 4 mana, but it doesn't have any qualifiers. You just get to destroy any creature. Any creature at all. None of this non-black nonsense, none of this non-merfolk nonsense. Any creature that can be destroyed, go nuts, my friend. Eviscerate is a prime example of an early pick and limited, and it auto-include in any black sealed pool. We'll be talking about this card more in the pre-release and draft guides, I'm sure, but until then, bask in the glory that is this dude's chest getting skewered. Feral Abomination is 6 mana for a 5/5 Thrall with Death Touch. There are a few things I want to talk about here. I usually hate Death Touch, but on a 5/5, come on, it's going to take down most anything in the format anyways, so we can let Death Touch slide. The more important thing, that flavor text quote, Urborg used to be lovely, scenic volcanoes, respectable lich lords. Since the Cabal came with their nightmares and thralls, it's all gone to the worms. Mr. Lost Spoon Skulltown Gossip. I think this might be my favorite flavor text from the set, rivaled only by Liliana getting pwned by Bolus. This is hysterical. This Lost Spoon's guy, we gotta find him. He's a hoot and a half. He's the Dominarian equivalent of that guy who yells at me whenever I get too excited playing Blitzball on my PS2. What does he know, am I right? Anyways, the Abomination is a decent top-end filler if you have nothing else, but on a big creature, Death Touch isn't as impactful as it is on a small one. Fungal Infection, gross, is 1 black mana for an instant. Target creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn. Create a 1/1 Saproling token. Yes, again, all of the yes. I love this card. Okay, I promise I'm being as objective as possible. I know I have a very pro-Saproling agenda, but Fungal Infection is a removal, and it gives you a creature to boot. Remember, it's instant, so you can cast it whenever you want, after attackers, before blockers, use that 1/1 you just made to block, and you weaken something else. Fungal Infection, at least to me, great for any limited deck. It might not look amazing to you, but it will dumpster opponents. For a single black mana, come on, there's so much potential power here. Play this card in your black deck, it's good. Kazarov, Sengir, Pureblood is 5 of anything and 2 black for a 4/4 legendary creature vampire with flying. Whenever a creature an opponent controls is dealt damage, put a +1/+1 counter on Kazarov. You can also pay 3 of anything and 1 red, and Kazarov deals 2 damage to target creature. This reminds me of a less threatening Olivia Voldaren due to the abilities and the cost. Don't get me wrong, it's a 4/4 flyer, which is almost always good, and it comes with removal, and it buffs itself whenever any of your opponent's creatures stub their toes, but it is a bit clunky and absolutely late game dependent. 7 mana's a lot. You need red for him to really go off. Play this at the top end of a limited deck if your deck is playing a slower game. If you're going for red-black aggro, this is a dead card in your hand considering you want the game to be over by the time you get 7 mana. Deck dependent, just remember that. Rat Colony is 2 mana for a 2/1 rat. Rat Colony gets +1/+0 for each other rat you control. A deck can have any number of cards named Rat Colony. Oh dear Heliod, this is a common, but Relentless Rats is also a common now? Oh, hey Pauper players, on a scale of 1 to 10, where do you land on me building Rat Tribal and Pauper, and then deck teching it, and then playing episodes of Tom and Jerry over the video to really immerse everyone in the experience? Now, I know what you're going to say, but Wedge, Jerry is a mouse, not a rat. And to that I say, well, you have to choose between Jerry, the cute little mouse, or Master Splinter, the super awesome ninjutsu rat master. Okay, actually, never mind. Splinter it is. Wait a second, what were we even talking about? Where am I? These are not my pants. Soul Salvage is 3 mana for a sorcery. Return up to 2 target creature cards from your graveyard to your hand. So this is technically card advantage. You're trading 1 sorcery for 2 creatures. The goal is to obviously get 2 creatures back that you actually want to cast again. If you can do that, the card is technically worth playing. The problem? It's sorcery speed and doesn't get you anything on the battlefield right away, but if you're running a creature-heavy deck with some bombs or maybe enter the battlefield triggers that you could really use a second time around, I don't see a problem sticking one of these in there for some pseudo card draw for all intents and purposes. Your graveyard is a resource and removal is at a premium. Make your opponent's removal even worse. Stronghold Confessor is 1 black mana for a 1/1 human cleric with a kicker cost of 3 and menace. If the Confessor was kicked, it enters the battlefield with 2 +1/+1 counters on it. Man, I'm really getting into these complex commons, a 1/1 for 1 with so much on it. Menace obviously isn't a huge deal on a 1/1, but 4 mana for a 3/3 with Menace is a bit more threatening. And more importantly, it's flexible for you. You can either drop this early for a quick 1/1 with evasion, maybe you want to be super aggressive, or you can hold back, build up mana, and drop the swole version. I'm telling you, versatility is the name of the game here. Thallid Omnivore is 4 mana for a 3/3 fungus. You can pay 1 and sacrifice another creature to give the Omnivore +2/+2 until end of turn. If a Saproling were sacrificed this way, you gain 2 life. I cannot stop being excited about Saprolings. I just can't. What's powerful about this is that you don't necessarily need Saprolings for it to be useful. Sacrificing a small creature to make this a 5/5 for a turn, that can do a lot for you, and your opponent always has to be ready for that. But with Saprolings, not only are you getting that 5/5, but you're gaining life each time too, which is getting you further and further away from death. And you don't need to tap anything. You just need a creature and 1 mana, which means activating this multiple times in a turn isn't that big of a deal at all. Say hello to one of the biggest creatures in this set. The potential is huge on this thing. What a payoff card. It's delicious. I mean, not literally because it's a fungus, so hard pass on eating it, but dang. Thallid Soothsayer is 4 mana for a 2/3 fungus. You can pay 2 mana and sacrifice a creature to draw a card. The fungi party continues, this time with card advantage. Let me just drop my Spore Swarm and nom 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 for days. The Soothsayer doesn't bring an impressive power toughness spread with it, but it does bring a great ability. Spending 2 mana is a bother, but sacrificing a creature in the Saproling deck won't be that difficult, as we've already mentioned. It's another solid include as a 1 or 2 of, but only if you can get enough creatures to sacrifice effectively. Otherwise, its only purpose will be to eat your creatures that are already about to die anyways, and that really isn't the best for you. Windgrace Acolyte is 5 mana for a 3/2 cat warrior with flying, a black cat warrior suite. When it enters the battlefield, put the top 3 cards of your library into your graveyard and you gain 3 life. If you needed some synergy with Soul Salvage, here you go. Milling yourself 3 can be valuable in black strategies as recursion is relatively commonplace. 5 mana for a 3/2 even with flying is a little rough though, as it's susceptible to basically every piece of removal out there. Gaining 3 life is great, but again, it's 5 mana. This card's trying to do a lot. It's very confusing to me. I suppose it'll be fine in a deck that cares about its graveyard. Other than that, I'd probably avoid top-ending it. And boom, those are the rest of the black cards. I think we have a lot of winners here. The color has come to win with multiple removal spells, some sick Saproling tribal goodness, and just value cards. Now we've seen white and blue so far in addition to black. I want to know what you think about the colors in relation to each other. Which colors look the strongest so far? As we get closer to pre-release, we'll be fleshing all of this out. Gotta prepare, you know what I mean? Anywho, more episodes coming soon for the rest of the colors, so stay tuned for those. And as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. This video is brought to you in part by TCGplayer.com. One of these days, I'm going to figure out a cooler way to tell you that Dominaria boxes can be pre-ordered right now for $92 each by clicking the link on the screen. Eventually, I'm going to figure out a way to say that will blow your mind. I totally will, but today is not that day, so if you don't have a local game store or yours is charged way too much, I got you back right here. Totally fair price. Get on it, friends. Enjoy.